Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and especially Frisco, an adventure in Outlands. Every speech should have a general purpose, as the Competent Communicator Manual describes. And when it's not a manual speech, you need to extract the purpose. The general purposes are to inform, to persuade, to inspire, and to entertain. And I believe this was a speech to entertain. And so to evaluate it against that criterion, were we entertained? Absolutely. It was totally entertaining. You had us totally enthralled. And in my evaluation, I'm going to continue with the purpose and how that related to the structure. I'm going to talk about some things that you did especially well, offer a few suggestions for improvement. The structure of a speech follows from the purpose. So if the purpose is to inform, then you want that, tell them what you're going to tell them, and all that stuff. But to entertain, things need to be a little bit more, well, linear or non-linear, as the case may be, and ideally ending with a moral or a takeaway at the end. And you did all that. If you're entertaining, we need to be entertained right from the very beginning, and you did that by saying, it was a gorgeous spring day. And that immediately grabbed us. Okay, now where is she going with this? What's going to happen next on a gorgeous spring day? Almost anything can happen. But instead you get into a car. But again, that was part of the humor. I thought, so your opening was very effective in grabbing us. Your word selection and voice throughout really emphasized the connection with the audience and the telling of the story. Just for example, what used to be my tire, wonderful phrase. Whatever you think, and one of my favorites, no problem. Again, using the voice and the words, and I liked your sound effects, that there were too many to list, but the sound of the flat tire blah, 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 and the sound of the waiting music was particularly excellent in standing out, and your gestures throughout were just too numerous to mention, but getting in and out of the car, driving the car, being on the phone, and tapping when, again, we can all totally relate to that. So the essence of humor is taking a situation that we all can relate to and just showing up how funny it is. Now, a couple of suggestions. First, your opening, you're a very big speaker, so I think your opening gesture could have been even bigger. You were kind of out to here. It was a gorgeous spring day. Just enjoy that spring day. My second suggestion there were a couple times I think you could have been a little bit more effective with pausing, particularly when you're going to the Outlands. You say you got this, and you got the sand, and not much else. And finally, I heard a lot of ands, and I, and he, and I would replace that just with either gestures or dialogue. But overall, you entertained us thoroughly. You gave us a wonderful message at the very end, and I just loved every bit of it. Madam Toastmaster.